Hi guys, my name is Dr. Lee West. You can call me Lee or Dr. West, and I'm going to be your instructor for General Chemistry 1 in winter 2021. This class is a late start course. We had a lot of demand from people who couldn't get off the wait list, so we were able to get the college to approve a late start course. And all that really means is that your first assignments won't be due until January the 25th or later. And that's just to reflect the fact that you guys had short notice coming into this. Now, what I want to say to you though is that it's a really great idea to get started in those couple of weeks before the first assignments are due so that you don't get slammed. It's definitely a big thing to try and get a 5-credit STEM class done in 7 weeks. That's a lot of work. Okay, so General Chemistry 1 is the first class in the General Chemistry sequence. That's a 3-course sequence. It's kind of almost a 4-class sequence because you need Chemistry 139 before you can begin. General Chemistry 1, normally taken by STEM majors, people that want to become scientists, engineers, vets, doctors, and dentists, stuff like that. And it's the prerequisite for the organic chemistry sequence that comes afterwards. At the end of this sequence, you'll take a standardized exam that covers the whole year's work, and you'll get a score that you can compare with the other students in the country. So it's the legit full deal chemistry course for scientists and engineers. Okay. So let's get moving and just kind of get some basic details about me and the class out of the way. So as I mentioned, my name is Lee West. You can either call me Lee or Dr. West, however you feel more comfortable. This is an online class, but if you have a reason to visit me on campus, my office is in the Library and Science Building in the basement, room 131. You can leave me a phone message and I will get an email alert that you've left me a message, and I can go in and access that message any time of the day. So don't be afraid to phone me if that's a good way for you to communicate. You can either send me a Canvas message and that will also get forwarded to my email, or you can email me directly if that's something that you're more comfortable with. So there's my email address there. Every day we have office hours, Monday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. via Zoom. Now, you are welcome to start attending office hours before January the 25th if you want to. And just a little warning though, that the office hours is kind of a free-for-all where people are asking questions. People submit questions to me via email, and then I kind of respond to those questions. So if you just randomly turn up for office hours, it could be a bunch of stuff that you're not particularly interested in that you have to sit through. So the key to getting the maximum benefit out of office hours is to make sure that you kind of get your question in either verbally during the session, or what most people do is they kind of email me beforehand saying, hey, can you make sure you go through this in office hours tomorrow? So that via Zoom every day. And then at Wednesdays at 1, I'm going to do a 1-hour Zoom session that's specific for Chemistry 161 that's dealing with content from our class. So this is a online class, so there isn't any traditional lecture. So we only have a 1-hour meeting per week dedicated for specific content from this class. So to make up for the absence of the traditional lecture, I'm going to be posting video lectures that you're welcome to watch if that's a useful way for you to study. I recommend watching the video lectures, and also reading the book is probably the quickest way to reinforce the content. So if you do come to the Zoom sessions, we kind of ask you to try and be mindful of keeping your mic muted unless you have something to say. It's always kind of really embarrassing if you're sitting there talking to your little brother or something, and the whole class can hear what you're saying. A little trick that I use is if you are muted, you just can hold the space bar down, and that temporarily unmutes you for a moment or two, for as long as you want to speak. So it's kind of like using a walkie-talkie. You just press to speak. And just be aware if you do come to office hours that sometimes you're going to find that it's locked down, that you're going to be in the waiting room. And that's just because somebody has asked for a one-on-one session and they don't want to hear everybody they don't want everybody in the class to hear what we're talking about. So, that's fine. Just sit tight in the waiting room. We normally finish up pretty quick, and I will let you in once that's done. Just reiterating again that the office hours is like my traditional office hours on campus. It's a free-for-all. People just kind of come into my office, and we kind of go through whatever topics arise on the day. So it's not a lecture replacement, and you have to be a little bit proactive. If you do have a question, speak up. And normally I would say most people are asking questions via email, but you can also speak up verbally in the session. Okay. So let's have a look at sort of the types of assignments and things that you're going to be doing during the quarter. So we have a textbook. It's a free textbook available online via OpenStax. It's just called Chemistry. We're using the second edition. You might consider downloading a PDF of it so that, if for some reason you don't have internet access, you can still, get access to the book. You need a basic scientific calculator or access to an equivalent online tool. So again, if your internet's sketchy, you might not want to rely 100% on an online tool. The two online math websites that I like are Desmos.com. Desmos is, intended for math classes. So it works just great for chemistry, but the other one that I really like is Wolfram Alpha, and this is more of a general site for a whole variety of classes. But the cool thing about Wolfram Alpha is it was constructed by a guy called Theodore Gray, who's a famous theoretical chemist. So it kind of has a chemist's kind of approach to things, and so you might find that a little easier for work in this class. You do need access to the ALEX online system. We're going to be using this both for homework, what we call objectives, or what ALEX calls objectives, and we're also going to be using it for quizzes, tests, and the final. So it is important that you get access to that as soon as you can. You'll need to enter a 10-digit code when you register, and this is the code that you'll need right here. In addition to this course code, what you might want to know is that there is what we call a financial aid access code, and that's a longer code, and what that does is that'll give you 2 weeks free access. So, and then you can, when you can, afford to buy access, it'll just kind of merge your free account with your paid account, so you won't get any interruption in service. So if you're having trouble paying for ALEX in the first couple of weeks of quarter, what you can do is you can use that financial aid access code that I've emailed out to you guys, get 2 weeks, and then kind of organize the money in that period, and then purchase an account. And it runs about $40. It seems to go up every quarter, but it's around the $40, $41 mark. Okay, so I promised that I'd talk about the types of assignments. So every week you're going to get some assigned readings, and these are readings from the book. You can just look the book up online or look in your PDF. And then from those readings, what you're going to do is you're going to make handwritten Cornell notes. So you may or may not be familiar with Cornell notes. They are taught in college success. So Cornell notes are just a style of notes. It's really, really super easy to learn. And I've provided a link that kind of describes to you how to make Cornell notes. And what you're going to do with those Cornell notes is you're going to upload them to Canvas as a PDF. And the simplest way that most people find for making a PDF is to get like a cell phone PDF app, and what happens is within the app you just take a photo and of your multiple pages, and then you can just save that as a PDF. And a lot of the modern apps will actually like link to Canvas, so you can actually upload it to Canvas from the app. Now the app that I like to use is called Cam Scanner. There are other ones, and most of them have like a free version and a pro version that you have to pay for. Don't worry about getting the pro version. Just get the free version. Like it's good enough for our class. It just leaves a little like watermark in the corner, and that's totally fine. So just a single PDF, upload those notes every Tuesday by midnight. So the first part of the week, sort of Monday, Tuesday, you're just kind of reading content, watching videos, making those notes, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you need to do work over the weekend, you're kind of engaging with the content and you're doing stuff. So the first part of the week is kind of pretty light on all of the activities that you're doing. You know, you can get support from me for them. You can try them as many times as you like. And, you know, the homework that you're going to be assigned is graded just for completion. You have to get it correct. It won't let you, you know, move on until you get every question correct. You can use as many resources as you like. You know, so it's really kind of like, it's not testing you in any way. So the first type of assignment that you're going to do in that early part of the week are these ALEX objectives. And these are basically homework problems. And what you'll have is a series of topics every week. So, you know, you might have like, say, like 15 topics in a week, and you have to get 3 questions per topic correct in a row, and then you can move on to the next topic. So if you're slow and you're kind of diligent and you make sure that you get that you double check your work, you're looking at about, you know, for this you'd have to do 45 questions to move on. Now, if you kind of, you know, are very random and you just kind of randomly click at answers and you just type sort of like, you know, random answers, and you don't really think too hard, this can get really, really big, because remember, you have to get 3 in a row correct. And what ALEX does is, if you get one wrong, it backs you up one. So you want to be aware of that, and you'll never get there. You'll just kind of keep going and going and going. So ALEX really rewards, you know, sort of like slow, cautious effort. In addition to doing ALEX objectives every week, you'll have some kind of weekly assignment. It could be a timed quiz, or it could be something else, like a case study, which are kind of like, it's a longer story, if you will, with a series of questions attached to it, or some kind of discussion, like I'll give you some kind of topic to talk about, and you guys will discuss it on a discussion board. So most weeks this is a timed quiz, and occasionally we'll put in, about 50% of the time or less, we'll put in one of these other types of assignments. You're going to have one of these weekly assignments per week, and they're always due Sunday midnight. There are 3 tests scattered approximately evenly over the quarter, so they're going to come every sort of 2-3 weeks, and they're all administered via ALEX, and they're all due on Sundays at midnight. Then you're going to have, actually I should change that, I believe it's Tuesday. You're going to have a final exam, and the final exam covers the entire quarter. So yeah, that's also going to be administered via ALEX, and that's due midnight on Tuesday of finals week. I think that's around the 22nd, 23rd of March. You can check the schedule for that. Okay, so kind of just the thing that's interesting about being in this online environment is we have to work out a way of doing labs, right? So, and we've been pretty successful with this. So most of the time, most weeks, you're going to have a lab assignment. I think there's like 1 week when we don't have a lab assignment. And the lab assignments are given via Canvas. So you'll be uploading material to Canvas. And then we use a variety of tools to get you guys involved with doing experimental work. Sometimes these are online things, sometimes we just give you data, sometimes we have you watch a video and make observations. So it's a whole variety of different stuff. It's not the one platform that we're going to be using. And labs, I really strongly suggest that you always send me a draft of your lab before submitting it. That's really, really important. Think of your lab as being, like an English essay or something like that. You almost always submit it to your professor for, their kind of feedback before submitting your final draft. So a lot of people don't realize that about labs in chemistry, that it is important to get somebody, even if it's not me, you can get somebody from the tutoring center to have a look at a draft before you submit it. And labs are due at Friday midnight as well. So keep in mind that labs, there's I think like 8 of them over the quarter, maybe not quite 8, maybe 7. And you know, they're worth a couple of % a piece. So these labs should be, you know, pristine when you submit them. So getting a draft into me, you know, sort of like Wednesday, Thursday, getting me to have a look at it so that you have enough time to kind of like polish it by Friday midnight. And don't be afraid to send me a draft of your lab that's not quite complete. You know, I'll make comments on whatever you've got, and I'll give you a little bit of guidance about how to move forward as well if you send me a draft. So please be proactive in making sure that those labs are, you know, are good, right? That they're important, that they're worth more than what a lot of people realize. So the course is divided into a series of modules, and you basically get 1 module per week. Keep in mind though, because this is a late start, and although the assignments don't start becoming due until the 25th of January or after the 25th of January, I'd recommend, you know, if you can, try and get the first, you know, 2-3 modules out of way before the official start of class, because it is a lot to get through a whole 5 credits in the reduced time period. And so something that I think can like really help, although you don't get like many points, you know, you get like 1% of your grade per week is for doing the assigned readings and making the notes on it. You know, it's really valuable to make sure that you've watched the video lectures and completed the assigned readings, and you kind of understand the content before you begin the assessments. Otherwise, you kind of just spend way too long on everything, and you're often very confused. So, you know, it's very tempting to just focus on those assignments that will appear in your to-do list without thinking about how does this actually relate to the content. Okay, so graphically is a good way to kind of display how the course is set out. So in the first part of the week, Monday through Tuesday, and I've highlighted the fact that Tuesday you have some due dates, you're going to be studying content, all right? And you don't get many points for doing this because, you know, it's basically just studying the content. So we do, you know, so that's when you're going to be watching the videos, reading the book. First week, I think you have something like, you know, 24 pages to read, and, you know, an hour or 2 of videos to watch if you watch the video. So it takes a little while, but, you know, you've got 2 days to get it done. Okay, so you submit notes, which hopefully they're organized and they're actually useful, and they're going to be really beneficial for you when it comes studying. So then Wednesday through Friday, you practice applying everything, and, you know, as long as you complete the assignments, you can use as many notes as you want. You can, you know, get things wrong as many times as you want. It doesn't matter. You're just practicing applying the content. You can send me a draft of your lab. I'll grade it. I'll give you feedback on it. I'll tell you where you need to improve, stuff like that. So, you know, Wednesday through Friday, the rest of the week is really just kind of like practicing stuff. That's a considerable effort, you know, especially it takes a while to write those labs up, and if you're doing multiple drafts and things. So that's worth about 35% of your grade. So that's a total of 40% of your grade is on stuff that, you know, if you just do it and you get my assistance, you're going to be fine. Okay, so that leaves 60% of your grade where what you're really doing is you're being assessed, you're being tested, right? So these are going to be your weekly assignments, your tests, and the final, and they're all due Sunday midnight. And so you're going to do these with like minimal support from me, but this is an online class. So all of those notes that you made earlier in the quarter are available to you. Any online resources that you've identified are available to you. You can use your book, all of that stuff, you know, handwritten notes, whatever you have is available to you. But, you know, these assessments are going to be timed. So, you know, you need to be organized in how you approach doing them. So the only advice that I can say is that it tends to go really wrong for people when they sort of like leave everything to the last minute, right? You know, so please don't try and do that. You know, it's kind of like if you're don't begin working on your lab until 8 o'clock Friday, well, how are you going to, send me a draft, right? I'm not looking at my computer at 8 p.m. Friday, and I'm not really wanting to give you feedback, That's 8 o'clock Friday, I think, is like normally I'm like watching a movie or playing D&D with my friends or something like that. I'm like switched off. I'm done till the morning at that point in time. So, it's too late to get some help. So please, have a bit of a plan every week. Look at what the assignments are that you're going to be doing that week and, schedule a little bit of work for every day. And then everything kind of takes care of itself. All right. That's it from me. I'm done at this point. Thank you for joining us for this late start. I hope it's helpful. It's going to allow you to keep on track and finish the general chemistry sequence this year, which is awesome. And good luck with everything. Just let me know if there's any way that I can help you.